The Pants Free Podcast brought to you by Dave's Killer Bread. If you haven't tried Dave's Killer Bread yet, you're missing out. Just say no to bread on drugs. It's simply the best bread on earth. Find out more now and even order online at daveskillerbread.com.
You were right on time to hop on this party train. Woo!
This is an MF Pod presentation of the Pants Free Podcast, originating from mfpod.com. Greetings, podcast pals. It is I, Balonius Francine Marconi. This is the Pants Free Podcast. And joining me as always, my recently self-employed Pants Free Podcast compadre, Nick Miles. Yay!
Toodle pip and all that.
What are you doing?
Cleaning various attics.
Why are you cleaning the attic? This is like your first day off. Why aren't you like playing video games and eating bonbons? And come on, you got at least a week to just celebrate the fact that you're not having to go to a job.
I ate my own weight in bonbons before I got out of bed, and I figured I should put all the mountains of crap of the last 7.5 years that I've collected from working.
So see, you're torturing yourself right now. I say put that aside.
No, it's all put away now. It's gone.
Oh, and now you have your day free to do what you will?
Yes, this afternoon I'm going to eat my weight again in bonbons and play more video games.
See, I like that. That's the way it should be. I mean, like, if you lose a job, I feel, and especially in your case, 7 years at one job,
right?
You deserve to give yourself a little bit of a vacation before you start, like, really attacking. Here's the thing. You spent 7 years toiling away for a job, and of course you learned a lot, you gained a lot, all that kind of good stuff. But let's be honest, you weren't working for yourself making money in your own company. You were making money for another company. So now
millions of dollars for another company.
You have a chance to give back to yourself, Nickel. A chance.
I am, and I'm giving myself a daily dose of my own weight in bonbons.
I like that. But don't you think, like, because some people are so like, oh, I've got to get a job, and they freak out so much that they don't even go, hey, this is like a break from the monotony of the daily grind. Why don't I enjoy it for like 5 minutes before I go get another job that I'm going to hate in 8 years?
Well, I'm going to work for myself for 6 months, and I've already got a commercial production job this morning.
Cool.
Making some Spanish commercial spots for those who need on the cheap healthcare.
Well, see, that's good because I think the last time you were out of work, you were making donkey porn or something like that.
Rabbit porn, but yeah.
I knew it had something to do with bestiality, but I wasn't sure.
I may have some news for you.
Big news.
Stand by.
America is voting. The change in presidential doodahs may happen today if one or the other leads. But the truth is, it comes down to just a handful of states. That's right, folks. There is only, this election will be chosen by just a very small number of states, which include Colorado, Iowa, Wisconsin, Ohio, Virginia, and Florida.
Yeah, Obama came to Aurora, Colorado the other night, and he brought Dave Matthews. And, I love Obama, but Dave Matthews? Really?
Seriously, that I might have to vote Romney now.
That's what I was going to say. Like, really? Like, dude, man. I think the concern in Colorado is that there's a huge Latino vote, but the consistency of them voting may not happen. You know, like they support him, but they may not vote, and that's always the problem.
Do you want to play a little game?
Oh, you know me.
Well, I'll name a state and see if you can guess whether it's Republican or Democrat.
All right.
Let's try Illinois.
I'm going to say Obama.
You're correct, sir.
All right.
Let's jump over to Missouri.
Romney.
You're correct. Colorado.
They don't fucking know.
Yes, a swing state. Arizona.
Oh, that's definitely Romney.
California.
Obama.
You know your politics, sir. Isn't it crazy when it comes down to just 7 different states? New Hampshire as well is counted as a swing state, but it only has 4 electoral votes.
And Florida, too, right? That's a big...
Florida's huge. It's 29 electoral votes. And, Ohio is 18 votes, Virginia 13, Wisconsin 10, Iowa 6, and Colorado 9. So really, I think Florida's probably going to go Romney.
Yeah.
And Ohio is probably going to go Democratic to Obama.
I mean, at this point, it's static to say. It's so frustrating. Like when we have the internet, Mitt Romney. We've seen your clips from 1994 to everything you said one way and then said the other way, and everything that you do and say are completely different things. And people can say, well, that's like every politician, and it's just not true. And I think that he does not deserve – he didn't even deserve the nomination, let alone to be elected president.
Well, the thing is, the Democrats could easily win this election if everybody who is a Democrat votes.
Yes.
Or those people that support the vote. It's the people that aren't going to be bothered to vote who are going to give to the Republicans. That's the problem.
When do the polls close today? Like what's
so the polls close. Depends on which state you are, and state laws differ, but it's usually between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. local time.
Okay. So get out and vote if you haven't already, you bastards.
This election day, why not cast your vote for real change?
Robot will enslave all humans. Vote robot.
This message paid for by Committee to Elect
Robot Supreme Ruler.
with generous donations from Skynet.
Well, here's the problem with a lot of it is that the GOP cities' voting machines have errors, and Colorado, among 6 states, is getting letters from the chief counsel saying that the machines aren't good. The Republican nomination committee.
Because they were made in 1975.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Romney's son supposedly owns a bunch of voting machines, and so the stories that I'm starting to follow are very interesting. Black voters who are below the poverty line in Florida have been getting phone calls saying you can vote by phone, and this is the number you call, and this is how you do it. The actual truth is you can't vote by phone.
Yeah, you can mail in or you can go in. That's it, right?
So the problem being that, these people are all being hoaxed. And then what usually happens election day is people offer to pick up ballots and deliver them for you. And then because they know how you vote, and then they destroy your ballot.
Ooh.
And that can be a problem, too. Again, that's a federal offense, so you could go to jail.
Well, I hope somebody's going to prison if they're. And Mitt Romney's son owns voting machines in Florida?
Yeah, he owns part of a company that owns.
How can he do that? That's a conflict of interest, big time.
Yeah, there's several things that make me feel uncomfortable about some voting that's going on.
And why should Republicans be allowed to vote again? I mean, the last time they voted Bush into office.
Right. Well, it's never about the Republicans or the Democrats. It's about the independents, and it's about those swing states. So it's complex, to say the least.
I hate swing states.
Yeah, well, they should stop swinging.
Check my record. The Pants Free Podcast, brought to you by Hulu Plus. With unlimited downloads, get a 30-day free trial now at Hulu.com.
With 1.7 million votes cast, the Republicans continue to lead in Colorado right now.
Boo. I mean, I'm not biased at all.
It looks like, Colorado could fall to the Republicans, and Obama was hoping that early voting would help him out. So, again, it's going to be a close election. Not sure if that's going to make a difference.
If he doesn't win Colorado, I blame the fact that he brought Dave Matthews in.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Spanning the globe in search of news.
The storms on the East Coast have really messed people up, and they're still trying to recover from it. Companies like Meetup.com is run out of New York. They're still having struggles getting all of their website stuff done. And then also BuzzFeed has been working out of a temporary office to try and sort of get their act together, really.
I'll be honest, like, I get 90% of my news from BuzzFeed.
I mean, and BuzzFeed was invented for that very reason. I mean, there are people who are working out of restaurants to keep BuzzFeed on the air. There's people working out of their homes, people working out of coffee shops. You know, it's, NewYorkMagazine.com have a packed conference room of journalists working there, just helping other journalists out. There's people working from wherever they can find space, basically, to keep BuzzFeed and other news sources on the air.
When the hurricane happened, there were a ton of websites down, and Gawker Media was one, and they have a ton of great sites that we use here on the podcast, like Deadspin and all those. It's crazy when you think about how much you rely on the internet now. I mean, more and more people are going away from like traditional newspapers and paper media, even television news. You know, it's like slowly everything is eroding away and becoming all about the internet. But then the internet goes down, and you're like, whoa, what do I do now? You're kind of going, oh, maybe we should keep one newspaper just in case the apocalypse.
Right.
This election day, why not vote for the one candidate who doesn't let his emotions dictate his decisions?
Robot will outlaw emotion. Vote robot.
This message paid for by Committee to Elect Robot, in association with Skynet.
Chuck Lorre mocks the Mormons, by the way, and slams Republicans in a censored vanity card.
That guy's so controversial.
Well, it's funny because, this is the guy that kept his mouth shut when all the big shenanigans happened last year with Charlie Sheen, and he wouldn't comment on it. Now he's out and in everybody's face. And he, of course, is the guy behind the Big Bang Theory.
Is he getting in any trouble for this, or is he okay?
To be honest with you, I don't think that many people care.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of other things going on.
Yeah.
He was like, he just went nuts. He went nutso, but
at the same time, okay, so he's writing a show on TV, but that doesn't mean he can't voice his own opinion. It's just a matter of lawyers saying, well, in your contract, you're probably not supposed to give it a public opinion on who to vote for, blah, blah, blah,
No, I don't think so. I mean, here's what it says, and I'll read you what he posted on his website. He wanted to put at the end of the show, but didn't, and I'll just read you the first couple sentences so you'll get a good flavor for it. What does it say about us when we are simultaneously pro-life and pro-AK-47s? What does it say about us when God's will would allow a rapist to ask for shared custody and child support payment? I mean, and basically he goes down all of those things that he believes, and it's very pro-Obama. And then the answer is, at the bottom, we are fucking crazy.
Please continue to hold. Please continue to hold.
One of the things that Mitt Romney's talked about many times is the fact that he would cut funding, which would ultimately end up cutting things like Sesame Street. And so there is a million puppet march, Puppets Invade D.C. for the Don't Cut Our Strings rally.
By the way, I saw the link to this article on TMZ. I did not recognize one of those Muppets. Where are the big Muppets? Where's Big Bird?
Right, I can tell you when I look at those Muppets, they look like the Muppets that get to be on one show a year.
Right, yeah. Well, they probably need the money more when you think about it. They're like living off of, they're probably eating top ramen going, when are they going to call me back for another episode?
What can you do? I mean, Big Bird maybe for the chopping block if Romney gets in, and lots of other programs. And austerity has not worked in Europe. And austerity has not worked in other countries, so why would we try something that hasn't worked?
This election day, why not vote for real change? With the only candidate that really appreciates brains, who will never sleep, and who is not afraid of the apocalypse. There's more than just two choices for president. This election day, vote for the future. Vote Zombie.
This message paid for by Let's Start the Zombie Apocalypse 2012.
Zombie. His time has come.
Well, it is the end of the world as we know it, Nick. And, many times celebrities have said, if Mitt Romney gets elected, I'm moving to Canada. I've seriously thought about it only because, what do I have to lose? I could move to Canada for a year and see what it's about. It seems like a nice place.
I just escaped the tyranny of the Queen, and now I have to move again? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Will you move with me? We'll go live, in Vancouver or something.
Oh, and if we can hold hands when we cross the border.
It's the end of the world.